want to thank everybody for leaving their families, their businesses, their passion to come into a foreign place, and for making not only the commitment of time, but everybody's here because they made a financial commitment. It doesn't matter the size. Everybody made a big, big commitment to be here, primarily because we have a big project that we want to do with a new partner. In the past, we've worked with very large partners, multi-billion-dollar NGOs in a place called Food for the Poor, and some smaller ones like the Haiti.m4v Foundation. And what we try to do is identify a partner that has a lot of potential to grow and has two things. One, the passion to do what they do in Haiti, and two is the trust. Because from our perspective, from the Caring House perspective, I don't want to have people on the ground in Haiti. I want to use the eyes and ears of a trusted partner like the Haiti.m4v Foundation and Food for the Poor and now HopeTo Haiti to execute on a big vision. Caring House's strength really is coming up with a master plan for a self-sufficient village and then sharing that plan with somebody who has the capability, even though they may not think they do, of executing something on a larger scale, and then working with them, having them be the eyes and ears on the ground in Haiti. And so Scott, who we met last year, kind of fit the bill of somebody who I felt was ready to go to the next level, and we would get behind them financially and with that big vision. And so what we saw today at his orphanage, there are some immediate needs that we saw: the roof, the beds, the mattresses, and the railing. So thank you for that. But we do have the plan to build a much larger village that would have the community center that you saw today, the houses that you saw today, the school that you saw today, renewable food, clean drinking water, and some free enterprise and capitalism all sprinkled into a campus-like setting. And that's what Scott's looking for. And he's been charged really to, you find the land. We don't want to have to buy the land. We've never had to buy the land. And he's getting closer to making that happen. So we really wanted you to come on this trip to see facsimiles, representations of what it is in pieces of what we're going to be doing with him. So I think you've seen that, and I think you've seen that he's a trustworthy partner for sure to be executing a big vision. With that said, this trip, guys, really wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Doug. Doug, it is, you know, he's been on the Caring House board for many years. He's been on Maverick for many years. He's an advocate for both, and he happens to be an advocate for you. So, Doug, if it wasn't for you, we would not be sitting here tonight, hands down. Just talk about what the trip's meant to you. You don't have to talk about what you're going to commit to doing in the future or anything money-wise. Or just, you know, just to the core.
Maverick trip, and once again, I have to thank Doug for being the catalyst for it, because otherwise it really wouldn't happen. And so Doug is out there emailing the members saying, let's do this, let's make this happen, and it's amazing. The thing that I get most excited about, well, two things. One, it really felt like a really different vibe this entire trip. It's like we came into, came into Port-au-Prince, and like last year when there was 1.5 million people on the streets that Scott told us, I had no idea what the numbers were, but you could just tell there was significant changes, and there weren't so many tents. I mean, I hardly even saw any tents as we were leaving the airport, and it just felt like things, I mean, of course they're chaotic, I mean, it's Haiti, but there's an order to the chaos there, and it felt like things were on track. It feels like, we're talking about the new president, it feels like there's some hope, and last year it felt somewhat hopeless after the first day with Port-au-Prince. The other thing that I get really excited about, and I've always been about a ripple effect, and so I get excited about when I can expose entrepreneurs who are the doers, the people that are the catalysts, the instigators, the people that actually make shit happen. And we just, you know, we see a need and we'll fill it, and then hopefully go take it to the next level. And I didn't even know, Tom, that you paid for that second, for the top there and the steps, and that's amazing. I thank you for that. And then, you know, Jim Spano bringing in the crate of solar panels, and Scott Marlowe with the water tower. And that to me is what it's all about. It's just creating, I've told this to Mike before, creating starfish. I want to create starfish where everyone, we can cut off the arms and the legs of the starfish, but new starfish will grow, and that's what hopefully the Maverick entrepreneurs are all about, is that they take on a little bit of it themselves, and then every one of you guys are major instigators and catalysts, and you just go out there and do it. And I don't even know the half of everything that you guys are doing, and that's what gets me excited. And we're going to continue being a part of these Haiti trips, and hopefully even bigger, broader impact trips, and the self-sustaining nature. Like, you know, to get to, you guys are almost there. We can get to the economic engines to pay for all the food and everything, then it's just game over. It's how much further and higher can we go, and then take that model to other either NGOs or just other locations that you want to do that to. And so next year we want to focus on leveraging those micro businesses and getting them at least above that threshold of where they can pay for every single meal for those communities. So thank you guys again for being a part of this and coming along.
Last, on a thank you to you. Thanks for opening up the trip to non-Mavericks. You know, because these guys are all part of what, you know, that's just awesome that we were able to do that.
It's a good mix.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a real good mix.
It's a great mix. So thanks for that. Mr. Old Canada.
Hello, eh? No. It has been so eye-opening. It's incredible. I've experienced a lot of stuff in my life. I've donated and done a lot of work with hospitals, with things what to do. So, anyways, it was awesome. So thank you very much for opening our eyes to this opportunity, and thank you very much for letting us come down as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, it was really, really cool. I mean, I could go on for hours and it'll get too emotional. So it was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Thank you. I have to say, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Steve has donated to build, depending on the cost of the houses, between 25 and 50 houses. He's already donated to do that. So whatever we do with the village, the housing part is pretty much done.
And I told him it's a question of, I wanted to experiment in and see it, but there's so much more we can do. There's so much more, and the Canadian population supports a lot Haiti, because you go to Ottawa, you go to anywhere in the eastern hemisphere, let's call it eastern part of Canada, and there's so many Haitians, so many, and we support Haiti a lot, so it just clicked like that, and it's amazing.
They're very generous, because he had me come to one of his events, and the Canadian people are very sophisticated, and that's it. Your donation doesn't even, that's his individual donation. Some of the people at his event accounted for, I think, 10 more houses just right there on the spot. So thank you for allowing us in that circle. It's great.
Okay, so I shared this with a couple people, but I've previously been on some mission trips, and I've been in other really poor parts of the world. So I think that some of the impact that people have when they might come to Haiti, I'd already experienced that in other places. But the thing that was really interesting for me is I've never been super into kids. I mean, I never had anything against kids, but I was not one of those guys who's like, oh, baby, or anything like that. So having been on trips before where we visited orphanages or anything, I never felt like a major connection at all there. And in the post having had my own kid world, I find that's completely changed. So being there today, there was a whole different level of connection taking place just in even making eye contact with little kids. There was just a different feeling about it and a whole different experience to it, I guess, from what I had before. So that was really interesting. And then I think it was, I'm kind of a facts and numbers sort of guy, so getting an understanding for how inexpensively such a large impact can be made on people was kind of a little bit of an eye-opener for me, too.
Now, as we've always said in business, we know what an ROI is, return on investment. In the charity business, we have something that's a mantra, ROD, return on donation. How far can we stretch our donors' dollars? And this is a place you can stretch it pretty far.
I think for me it's a bunch of things. First of all, as Doug was saying, it really puts things in perspective. Just when you think your biggest problem is getting your opt-in rate on your web page up, or some vendor doesn't deliver something on time. It really puts things in perspective. It really makes you count your business. And frankly, it's made me appreciate my own country more, the U.S. Just driving around, I just couldn't draw some contrast between what's made our country great and maybe some things that are missing here. And I've also been very inspired by you and Scott in particular. Really how you integrated, your professional life and your nonprofit, helping people, and how you live your faith. It's really got the wheels turning on how I can do a better job of that. And finally, it's been just great meeting everybody. It's, hanging out. There's a lot of sharp, interesting people on this trip. So, great.
Thanks. When you put together your professional highest calling with your spiritual highest calling, one thing is avoided inherently and by default, and that is burnout. I've been doing what I've been doing for 25 years, and I don't think if I wouldn't have found this part of myself about 15 years ago, I could have been maybe not burnt out, but done with real estate, retired, and let's go travel the world and put my feet up and sit on the beach and drink a glass of water. But it really, when I put those two together, it reinvigorates what I do for a living. It keeps it fresh.
Right, that's what I was telling your wife about that. She was saying much the same stuff.
Bill was one of those last-minute additions that I've been buddies with Bill for a long time. He was telling me he got back from Africa. I'm like, dude, you gotta go to Haiti.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You're like, all right, I'm in. So we're glad you came.
Glad I came.
I'm gonna skip over to Jason.
I just want to thank the four of y'all for putting this on, bringing us here again. Glad to be here again. This is my third time to Haiti, and each time it seems like it's progressively gotten better as far as the people and their conditions. There's a lot of work to be done, but I know with a group like we have here that a lot of work can get done. That's very uplifting and very inspiring. Thank you. Glad to be here.
When was the first time that you came to Haiti?
Mission trip up in the mountains of Haiti, probably in 2000.
Great. Shaggy.
I gotta say it's my second time here. I got to come last year, and I would say this trip, probably the most impactful thing. It's actually been uplifting. I think somebody said it earlier when we were here last year. The first day, everybody got in a funk. I think everybody was kind of a little depressed. I know I was. I was just sort of stunned and driving around and seeing the rubble and the trash everywhere. It's pretty big footprints, and to see it improve in the way that it is this year, to see it making progress is extremely uplifting. And to know that I've been able to at least help in a very small way to that is it's satisfying. It's very satisfying. It's a good paradigm shift too, from the first world problems that we have on a daily basis. I think what you said, it kind of resonated with. We get caught up in our own little world so often. So to be able to come on a trip like this and get totally out of that mindset, and look at the world through different lenses, it's not only extremely important, but valuable to one's soul.
Thanks. Mon frere.
I feel a little odd saying this. I'm not really sure how I feel about what we experienced over the last 2 days. I came into this trip, I don't know if it was on purpose or just because without really a game plan or a takeaway I wanted to achieve. I just wanted to kind of be here and feel whatever I felt, which is odd for me. I'm kind of a planner, and I always want to have, what's my takeaway going to be, what's my exit strategy, how am I going to follow up. And on this one, I didn't, so I don't think I'm at a loss per se, but right now it's kind of just bouncing around in my head. For me, I guess I take that back a little bit. When Frank talked about doing this trip with the Mavericks and meeting Scott, Mike and I, about the same time, had started talking about Haiti. He has a contact down here. So I guess I would say I came because of my brother. It's something he's passionate about, and Mike is as well. So as a friend of both these guys, I thought it would be neat to experience it with them. And I think there'll be some takeaways back home to get some folks involved at various levels. But it's neat to see, Scott, your passion for the people that it's so natural. You're here because you want to be here. I think a lot of us in this room are fortunate enough to be doing what we want to be doing, and we wake up every day excited, and we have a lot of opportunities, and I think you reign supreme there, and you embody that. So that was probably my best takeaway from the trip, was just seeing how passionate you are. And you said it yesterday up at that newer church, or newer school, excuse me. You just don't want to see any more kids hurt, and that's one at a time, right? Like the starfish story. The beach is littered with millions of them, and some guy gets ridiculed for throwing a few back in the ocean and saving them. And it matters to the ones you touch. So appreciate it and all that you do, and I think all of us will be forever indebted to you, and hopefully we'll support you in the way you need.
Aidika?
This trip was kind of last minute turn of events. And I was elated when everything within a course of an hour and a half or so just kind of fell into place, because I've been reading about Haiti and seeing the photos through Doug for over a year now, since prior to last year's trip. And it was something, just looking at the photos, wow, it's incredible. It's an honor. I'm really amazed that I am here right now with some of my favorite people on earth and some new people that I just met. The entire group is amazing. And Scott, Doug, Frank, Yannick, you all bring something so huge by living as you are, and being really passionate about what you have to get out there. And being around these people here, I think the thing that struck me the most was how shy I was around them, because I see people. I see individual human beings who are all just as powerful as everybody here. They all have something unique to bring. They don't have the means or even a perspective of what those means would feel like. And I really wanted to meet them, but I didn't want to come at them like I was looking at them. So it was really neat to just walk around and see the adults and the kids, all of whom intimidated me just because I wanted to say hi, look stern naturally, and just be able to look at them and just say, I see you. Just with my eyes, I see you, and see those faces just smile. All of them, just look at them, just smile, they're there. And that was really, really powerful. Like, then the same way I was the youngest, so I didn't grow up babysitting. I've never been someone who chased after babies. I was so excited to see these kids, and they were just incredible. The scope of their smiles in the situation they're in is the strongest thing I've ever seen. So it's really neat to hear how much progress has been made since just a year ago, because I see how much more has to happen. But this place clearly was once incredibly beautiful, and the people are beautiful. The art, the music, the culture that's in them. So I'm really excited, and hopefully maybe within my lifetime we'll see maybe some of that start to come back to them, where they can really be Haiti again. So it's been just really exciting and inspiring to be part of this. I'm really grateful. Thanks to all of you.
So I've been on, I was in the mission field for a long time, and from that I really gained an appreciation for getting somewhere, smelling the smells, seeing the sights, experiencing just what's going on. And we've all had an experience that is really unparalleled. And so often for people like us where, I'll give you an example. I was listening to a conversation about something going on online that probably involved, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We come from this world full of potential and opportunity. And so to come to a place like this where you can really understand not only what's needed, but the impact it has, it really gives us the perspective I think it needs to add that extra bit of passion in our lives. And I think you're going to be amazed at what happens to your business when you go home. Like Frank says, where you start to realize, man, there's something here where I can really make a difference. And so please just really get that you have impacted lives in a way that you will never know the extent of. I mean, these little kids have been changed now forever, where before they thought they were alone, and now they know someone actually cares about me and cares enough to fly here from I don't even know where and give me something. It really is monumental. And so I appreciate all of you for that. It's really something for us to do that. But please recognize what it is and take that with you and build on it. It's something that is the seed for something even greater for you.
Rod.
First off, I just want to thank all of you for sharing a part of yourselves with me this past 2 days. It's just been an awesome experience just getting to know all of you individually, just getting to know you guys for who you guys are, but also what you guys are doing here as well. Scott, it's been an amazing experience just seeing the kids light up as they see you. Before you even show up, they know you're there. And that in itself, I'm just thinking about it. It's such an amazing experience because to know that one individual can make such an impact that impacts thousands of people, their families, and when we fed the children yesterday, the fact that a lot of them were saving their food to bring back to their families, it goes on and on and on. Not just from the people that we saw, the past 2 days, but beyond the people that we haven't even seen. And all of you that you guys just show up here and to be able to give and to share your hearts with everyone else that's here, man, it's overwhelming as far as the emotions go, but just to know that there's other people that are doing this and that you guys are sharing this experience with other people and allowing other people to join you guys, it just, man, gives me warm feelings all over. The good warm feelings, and it's cool to share this with all of you. And, I'm just thankful and grateful to be here with you guys. And I think one of the greatest things that I've experienced here, aside from all of you, was the faces that the children have. When we were at the school today, they were touching my hair and it brought tears to my face. Yeah, gently. It was such a great experience because it's like their faces brighten up in a way that I haven't seen before. I have a 2.5-year-old son, and he brings that joy in my life as well. But it's a whole new joy that I experienced today, and it's a joy that every single one of these children that we saw, and even the adults, it's impacted me in a way that I can't even express or articulate to you guys right now. But to be able to share this with my family and to have and share, all that we filmed and documented, and be able to share that with not just my family but everyone else, I'm just grateful to be a part of the experience. So thank you, every single one of you guys who made it an effort to bring us here and allow us to come here. So it's awesome.
Dave, I guess first off I want to thank the McKinney family and Mavericks and Doug and everyone for letting us be a part of this. It's once again been an awesome experience. This is my third trip here, and I was reflecting a little bit on the bus ride back to the hotel about the 3 different trips and the differences. And trip 1 was kind of shock and awe. We went to City Soleil, and it was just the worst of worst, but still I felt joy from some of the people there. And just a lot of that trip, I was just speechless, I think, for a long time after that trip. But still, you kind of feel a calling to help any way you can. And I guess following up on that feeling to help, maybe the second trip when we did the run, which maybe pushed me to more of an extreme than anything. Thank you, my guardian angel, on that trip. But I think that was more to kind of build awareness is what we were trying to accomplish on that. And hopefully we did that a little bit. And this time, I guess I was expecting
worse conditions. This is the first I've been here since the earthquake, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I've seen the pictures on TV, and I just thought that I was sort of preparing myself for that. And pleasantly, I think really what I'm taking away from this trip is more hope than I ever thought I would see. I saw more improvements on this trip. I know some of it's because of the places we picked, but you can really see the change in a positive way this trip, and it was such a pleasant surprise that I think that was probably the main difference for the better that I saw. Also, I felt, I think the last 2 times, shock and awe, and there was still kind of a disconnect between me and the people, and this time I just felt maybe even more of a personal bond. Maybe it was with the children, that we didn't have as much of that the last trips, but just, you know, touching them and seeing their faces light up made me feel joy in my heart, and I think that I'll take away from, and I just want to continue to help. So thank you again for letting us be a part of it. Scott, what you're doing is amazing. God bless you, and hope that continues to stay on the increase for you.
We'll let your beautiful wife go next.
Well, you actually said what I was trying. We shared together riding on the bus what was the difference between the two, and I also said that yes, this is a very positive trip for me. It's my second time, and extremely positive because you see all these improvements. And there were a couple of more things that impressed me. Just today when we were at school, I had a chance to watch Scott, how he hugged, how he talked to these kids. And this, I can't put it in words, but you just turned everything inside of me. Just look at it. Thank you so much. And thank to the whole group, because it's a great honor to be part, to be in the same group with you, and amazing people. I'm just, for me it's not only eye-opening as far as Haitian people is concerned. For me it's also American and Canadian people, because I'm being originally from Russia. I'm just overwhelmed with everything.
Mike?
Yeah, well, thanks again for letting everyone, just letting me be a part of this. Frank, Doug, and Bob. It's been great, getting to know everyone, and I have a huge passion for kids. I have 4 kids, and how this all came about is sort of a weird, just timing of events and coincidence of events. I adopted my 3rd child from Guatemala. That sort of took place after a mission trip, and I have a huge passion for orphanages, and so it led me to today. But when you connect the hearts and minds of people around the passion, and faith and love, it's amazing just what happens. I sort of came here thinking I can help someone because, that's what I did when I adopted my daughter. But it's amazing how, I think the trip helped me, inside, seeing everyone, seeing just the passion around it, seeing the kids. It's amazing just how that happens. And if you could take that feeling, I was just thinking, if we fast forward a month from now, if we fast forward right now, there's no internet, there's spotty, but we're just focused. We're focused on a cause in our hearts. If we can model this, we can all make a difference. I think that's the key takeaway for me is, not losing this moment, just making it a Kodak moment, just imprinting it in my heart, and making sure that we can make a difference. I know we all can, but again, I thank everyone for their just letting me share and being a part of this group, and it's touched me in a lot of different ways. So thank you guys.
How about Justine Toner?
Well, going on this trip really makes me appreciate and be thankful for everything that I have. And I think being here and experiencing everything and seeing everything makes me want to help even more than I did before. And I had to bug my dad for a while to get me to let me come, and I'm really glad he let me because it was a really good experience.
I'm sure when it's your dad's turn, he'll elaborate a little bit more on how we both worked on him hard and how we finally broke him down. Karen.
Oh gosh. It's going to take me a while to sort this one out. But
I think really what it's been about is taking a level of understanding that I have about the need here and other places in the world and moving it down here. I'm still kind of awash in all of that. And I don't want to make this about me crying, so let me just say that that's what this is.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to say 2 things on your behalf. That Karen has helped me with 2 of my 5 books. Karen is an amazing ghostwriter, and that's her profession. Yet she had so much potential that I asked her to help me with the tour we just got done, the Survival to Thrival tour. Handled all the logistics for every single homeless shelter, soup kitchen, and food pantry that we stopped at. Opened the door for that. It's not her thing, but she had so much potential. I said, do you mind stepping out your comfort zone or what you know and help that cause? And she got real fired up about that. She was so good at that. I said, I'm so busy on the tour. Doug's busy. I said, would you mind helping with logistics for Haiti while you're at it? And I'll make a deal with you. You know, you can come with us if you trade your services for that. She said, in a minute, I'll do it. So the logistics with the hotel and all the, coordinating flights with everybody's passport, it is a lot of work. And she did changing it and adding people. She did a lot of that and helped Doug do that.
Mention the backpacks again too, in case I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, and her church did all the backpacks. All the stuff saved us, $600 and to buy that. So thank you very much.
Backpack thing. I'm very active in my church, and I kind of drive what the missionaries do. I guess I can go ahead and say that out loud. And so a lot of our efforts have been diffused, across various places. We always have international missions and local missions and regional missions. And the international is kind of like pick a spot, So now having a personal connection with this place and with people who work in this place, let's just say it will be a simple thing to sort of funnel things, and that's a really exciting prospect for me. Yeah.
It's very easy to build a sense of entitlement when you're born with a lot of stuff that are basically given to you. But to see these children, that was a very humbling experience, and it's definitely something that I think that I'm very happy to be here for, and I wish more people get a sense of that and experience that for themselves. Thank you.
Hard to believe, but this is coming from a first-timer, Lisa, Scott's wife, first trip. How about your perspective?
Yeah, thank you for providing the way for me to come. This is my first trip, giving me the opportunity to see my husband in action. I have not gotten to have the full appreciation until I got boots on the ground here to see the orphanage. That's his heart, and I can see why. Like you all have spoken about, those kids know Pastor Scott's coming, and to me get off the bus and see all the kids standing in that gate, and they could not wait for him to get in. I lost it then, and now I see why he loses it when he says anything about his kids. His kids, they're all his kids. So it was a blessing for me today to be able to see what my husband has been doing for the last 5 years, and me having to be in America and dealing with the day-to-day with a family and so-called problems that you think that you're dealing with. I thought I knew what he was dealing with, but I never did. And just the heartstrings, I can't imagine that he... Of course, I see now. I see now exactly what he does feel and see and breathe every time he's in this country. So thank you all for letting me be a part of your group and to see where you've made definite impact. And I've enjoyed immensely being at this.
Thank you for sharing with the people of Haiti.
Amen.
For 5 years.
Oh.
Well, there's an old saying that goes, there's no such thing as a selfless act. And I guess to some extent that's true. You know, I think we all have things that are broken inside of us that we're trying to fix somehow. And my break was, I was kind of losing faith in the human race. You know, you look at the world, it's kind of broken. You kind of shake your head and wonder what's going on. And I was watching Oprah's interview with Sean Penn, and she asked him the question, you know, your reputation, you're an angry guy, you do this, you do that. And he gave a pretty prophetic answer. He kind of put his head down and he shook his head and he looked up and he said, you know, I love humanity and I hate humans. And I thought, I get it. That's me. I love humanity. I hate humans. And I was kind of like reinforcing that. And I'm like, that's me. I get it. I get it. So I wanted to thank everybody here from the bottom of my heart for showing me it's okay to do both. It's pretty cool to do both. So thank you guys for everything you've done. You know, we've been, you guys have no idea, the first timers, Yannick and Doug, everybody put this together. This means a lot. And there's as much in it for you as there is for anybody else. And I just want you to keep it going. So it's okay to love humans and humanity.
I just have to say, Jim's been a long-time board member for the Caring House Project Foundation. When we were doing the Survival Thrival Tour, he was behind the scenes. He paid for hotels for people without them knowing. He paid for hotels for our guys in the tour bus. You know, you're always out front of wherever we're going. And to have you here to be able to share it with your daughter is just the best. So I'm glad you got to do that.
Thanks for the encouragement. Thanks for the elbows. Thanks for the bruises. Thanks for the beatings, the yelling. Do it, Justine, here you go.
We did the kids book I wrote. We go and we do these things called Dead Fred Days at school, where we come in and talk about the kids book. And he had us come up to Pittsburgh to talk to this 400 kids in this class or this school. And we do this whole thing with the kids in the book, and in front of 400 kids, didn't we say to? In front of him, I said, Justine, you're going to be going to Haiti. You just make sure you get your dad on that plane. So 400 kids hear it. It has to happen. Tom Puentes, the epitome of selfless service. Tell us about the trip this time.
Well, because of Doug, I became aware of you over 2 years ago. We were sitting at lunch one day in Texas at a meeting, and I started asking him question after question about you. Who is this Frank McKinney? What's the image? What's the reality? He said, I'm going to give you a book. So he gave me the tap. I read it right away. I thought, okay, now I'm ready to go to Haiti. Let's see when it happens. And then a year later, I came here for the first time last year. And the most encouraging thing was I came in here already with the mindset, okay, this place is a hellhole, a mess last year. And most of you haven't seen, I've been telling each one of you this, if you could see the difference from last year to now, it's shocking. Just to ride in a bus and go steadily along a road without tapping all the way. I mean, there's little things like that, and the power poles and schools being built. But my driving force is because of a biblical injunction that the truest and purest form of religion from the book of James is to visit the afflicted, the orphans, and the widows. And in everything I do in a charitable way, that's what I look at first. Whether it's in my congregation or here. And we went to that first village last year when we went to Jeremy. And I started looking around and I found out that some of the houses that the community council gave away first were to the most needy, most desperate, women who lost their husbands. Totally got me. And I would encourage all of you to continue beyond today, beyond writing a check, and continue to find ways that you can help the orphans and the widows. Because there's just nothing greater to me in life than that. And that's it.
You are a real inspiration, just the way you live your life. I want you to know that. You don't think you are, quietly, you are, to me. So thank you. My daughter, her first trip to Haiti, Laura?
I think the thing that stood out to me the most was how happy the people are.
You know, I think that they'd be really upset and sad for what they have, but they were so happy and grateful for everything they have. So that made me feel like there's no reason why I should, you know, not be happy about anything that I have, and be really grateful and feel happy and blessed about what I've been blessed with. And also just seeing everything and seeing the villages that my parents have built and their foundation have built, like, made me proud to know that, like, I'm proud one day to carry that on and stuff. And yeah.
You're gonna raise my kids with that.
I don't know if you want to do that. Should I raise his kids, honey? Would I be good at that? I don't know about that. She raises me more than I raise her, I think. Nilsa.
Oh, great. I got to follow that. Well, I'm going to stand up for this one because I am just so grateful to everybody here for supporting the foundation and friendships that we have made through all the trips throughout the years. There have been many trips. Every trip, my greatest joy is to hear the nights like tonight where everybody's inspired. And then I see you guys again for another trip, and you're still inspired. And then you bring a friend, and that's what it's all about. Not just for our foundation, but you know, take this all home with you and inspire others to do good for other people, because there's so many people that need it desperately. And that's my greatest joy, is to know that you're taking what you feel here now and what you've seen in the last 2 days, and you're going to continue it on, and like Yannick said, that ripple effect is so important, and mission accomplished what you've done. And today, I had a brief conversation with my daughter, and she had told me, Mom, don't worry, the foundation's safe. It's going to continue on. And, you know, I took everything in my power not to gulp and burst out crying. But it's like, you know, the light bulb is there and it's on, you know, and I was like, thank God, you know. So my feelings were hurt, so thank you.
Boss.
Boss. No greater joy than to bring new people to see my people. And so all of you, I'll cry. I cry all the time. People say, how do you do Haiti? I said, well, I cry a lot. You know, I do. I get back to the States sometimes and kind of get caught up in what we can't do. And I'm trying this year to celebrate more than what we are doing. And Yannick and Frank and Doug, Doug's just been a huge friend the last few years, and introducing me to Frank, and had the opportunity to go to Aqua Leona, you know, and see that house, and then learned about the Maverick guys. And I'll be honest with you, in my mind, I'm going like, I don't know these people. They live in a stratosphere. I have no clue what that life is like. You know, we just have come from different backgrounds or whatever, and so I would struggle this week, you know. They make sure it's a good time. They make sure that everybody's happy and it's pleasant. And you guys have been wonderful, and I feel I've really connected with everybody. And again, I get the heart behind it, and you guys certainly have demonstrated that you recognize success is not in what you accumulate, but it's also largely a part of what you can give away and how you can impact others. I love the Maverick, it's impact. You know, the Maverick losers, this is impact, this is impact. And you certainly have impacted me and my family, my blood family, and then my family in Haiti. And so I'm grateful for that. To think that we can now, you know, in partnership with Caring House, build a village. Kidding me? I mean, that's amazing. I can't express that. So, thanks for coming.